The Law of One, Book 1, Part 46, Session 20 continued. I am Ra. There is a particular use for the span of life in this density and, given the harmonious development of the learning teachings of this density, the lifespan of the physical complex would remain the same throughout the cycle. However, your particular planetary sphere developed vibrations by the second major cycle, which shortened the lifespan dramatically. Questioner: assuming a major cycle is 25,000 years, at the end of the first major cycle, what was the lifespan? I am Ra. The lifespan at the end of the first cycle, which you call major, was approximately 700 of your years. Questioner: then in 25,000 years, we lost 200 years of lifespan. Is this correct? I am Ra. This is correct. Questioner: can you tell me the reason for this shortening of lifespan? I am Ra. The causes of this shortening are always an ineuphonious or inharmonious relational vibration between other selves. In the first cycle, this was not severe due to the dispersion of peoples, but there was the growing feeling, complex distortion towards separateness from other selves. Questioner: I am assuming that at the start of one of these cycles, there could have been either a positive polarization that would generally occur over the 25,000 years or a negative polarization. Is the reason for the negative polarization and the shortening of the lifespan the influx of entities from Mars who already polarized somewhat negatively? I am Ra. This is incorrect. There was not a strong negative polarization due to this influx. The lessening of the lifespan was due primarily to the lack of the building of positive orientation. When there is no progress, those conditions which grant progress are gradually lost. This is one of the difficulties of remaining unpolarized. The chances, shall we say, of progress become steadily less. Questioner: the way I understand it, at the beginning of the 75,000-year cycle then, we had a mixture of entities, those who graduated from second density on Earth to become third density, and then a group of entities transferred from the planet Mars to continue third density here. Is this correct? I am Ra. This is correct. You must remember that those transferred to this sphere were in the middle of their third density, so that this third density was an adaptation rather than a beginning. Questioner: what percentage of the entities who were here in third density at that time were Martian, and what percentage were harvested from Earth's second density? I am Ra. There were perhaps 1/2 of the third density population being entities from the red planet, Mars, as you call it, perhaps 1/4 from second density of your planetary sphere, approximately 1/4 from other sources. Other planetary spheres whose entities chose this planetary sphere for third density work. Questioner: when they incarnated here, did all three of these types mix together in societies or groups, or were they separated by groups and societies? I am Ra. They remained largely unmixed. Questioner: then did this unmixing lend to a possibility of warlike energy between groups? I am Ra. This is correct. Questioner: did this help to reduce the lifespan? I am Ra. This did reduce the lifespan, as you call it. Questioner: can you tell me why 900 years is the optimum lifespan? I am Ra. The mind-body-spirit complex of third density has perhaps 100 times as intensive a program of catalytic action from which to distill distortions and learn teachings than any other of the densities. Thus, The learned teachings are most confusing to the mind-body-spirit complex, which is, shall we say, inundated by the ocean of experience. During the first, shall we say, perhaps 150 to 200 of your years as you measure time, a mind-body-spirit complex is going through the process of a spiritual childhood. The mind of the body are not enough in a disciplined configuration to lend clarity to the spiritual influxes. Thus, the remaining time span is given to optimize the understandings which result from experience itself. Questioner: then at present it would seem that our current lifespan is much too short for those who are new to third density lessons. Is this correct?
I am Ra. This is correct. Those entities which have, in some way, learned, taught themselves the appropriate distortions for rapid growth can now work within the confines of the shorter lifespan. However, the greater preponderance of your entities find themselves in what may be considered a perpetual childhood.
Questioner: back in the first 25,000 year period, or major cycle, what type of aid was given by the Confederation to the entities who were in this 25,000 year period so that they would have the opportunity to grow?
I am Ra. The Confederation members which dwell in inner plane existence within the planetary complex of vibratory densities worked with these entities. There was also the aid of one of the Confederation which worked with those of Mars in making the transition. For the most part, the participation was limited, as it was appropriate to allow the full travel of the workings of the confusion mechanism to operate in order for the planetary entities to develop that which they wished in, shall we say, freedom within their own thinking. It is often the case that a third density planetary cycle will take place in such a way that there need be no outside, shall we say, or other self-aid in the form of information. Rather, the entities themselves are able to work themselves towards the appropriate polarizations and goals of third density learned teachings.